Welcome to our brand new series, Living with an LFC Fanatic. So, this one's slightly different. This is similar to the Tell Me Your LFC story, but it's not going to be about the actual team like they usually are. This is going to be my wife's story, Jen, about living with me as a Liverpool fanatic. So, Jen, the first question is: did you realise how much of a Liverpool fanatic I actually was when you first met me?
The answer to that is no. Most people like football, they support a team. I thought you were just going to be a typical bloke that liked to go to the pub with his mates to watch the football and that'd be it. But pretty much every sentence out of your mouth was always to do with football, always around Liverpool. And I didn't have a clue. I knew who Liverpool were, um, but I came from a different supporting background. So my dad was a United fan.
Oh,
Yeah, I know. Terrible. One of my brothers is a Chelsea fan. My mum was a Blackburn Rovers fan. And then my younger brother, he is a Liverpool fan, so that wasn't too bad. So yeah, I obviously knew who they were. Um, I just didn't realize how much of a fan you were. You literally knew the ins and outs of everything. So yeah, um, but I suppose that shaped our life. I suppose Liverpool's been a big part of our life, really, hasn't it?
yeah, it's been a massive part. I remember some nights we used to sit there and give you like a sheet, and I used to write down all the players' names and what they looked like and stuff,
Oh,
and what the positions were and all sorts of stuff. And I used to test you. I used to say, right, who plays up front for Liverpool?
yeah,
Who plays in midfield? Who they looking at signing? So, and eventually, to be fair, started getting them all right. You were telling me who they were looking at to sign, and so over the years, you have got a lot better.
yeah, a lot better. I just don't spend a lot of time watching the games at the minute. They're absolutely diabolical. So it pains me to even sit and watch a game with you. Um, so yeah, it's not something that I'm massively into myself. I'm not a massive football fan, but I do follow Liverpool. Um, but yeah, it's everybody's got their own type of thing that they like. I just leave that to you. You're the fanatic, not me. You can just give me the information, relay it to me.
Well, to be fair, I don't even have to really tell you. You can hear from downstairs when Liverpool are winning or getting beat.
Oh God, yeah. There's me downstairs, just minding my own business, doing my own thing, and I hear a yes, or for fuck's sake. I don't know which way the game's going.
Yeah.
Usually, if you do lose, which is quite often at the minute, I usually tend to stay downstairs for at least an hour after the game so that I don't get the wrath. It gives me like a full on breakdown. They're absolute crap. They've done this wrong. They've done that wrong. So yeah, I tend to kind of stay out the way a little bit. I've learnt that over the years, just giving me his hour after the game to, to wind down a little bit.
So, obviously, talk a little bit about the Facebook page that we started. A lot of people don't realise that you've actually been a part of Coppers of Anfield behind the scenes for majority of it, right back to when Klopp's Cop Facebook page was created.
Yeah, yeah. So I have been behind the scenes. I'm not one to be on camera. I'm a very, very busy. So I tend to leave that side to Gareth. Um, Obviously we've got three kids. We've got three daughters. I also work full time. I'm currently doing an apprenticeship, so it's hard to try and keep on top of everything. So I tend to step away from it a little bit more now. He's got obviously a few people in that's helping him now, which relieves me a little bit. I do quite a bit of research for the channel. If he needs me to do a bit of research, I can kind of do that while he's at work because we're like ships in the night. We work opposite shifts pretty much. So we don't see each other as much anymore. But and then Copites of Anfield takes up a lot of his spare time. Um, so we usually get possibly a Sunday, maybe a Friday morning that we see each other. But that works for us, doesn't it? It's our family life, you know.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, as you know, the Facebook page started in around about, I
Two,
want to say 2014.
I think it's 2012, 2013.
Yeah,
Um,
because before it was Klopp's Cop, it was something else, wasn't it? But it wasn't very big back then. I don't think it got big until around about the end of 2024. I'd
yeah,
say possibly like a couple of months before Jurgen Klopp came in October 2015. And that's when I said to you, maybe we should go for something around Klopp and do Klopp's era.
yeah,
And that's when we discussed different names. And that's when we come up with Klopp's Cop. I had a go at creating the logo, which was an absolute nightmare because I wanted to get Bill Shankly and Jurgen Klopp on the same logo, which was really hard. And back then, AI wasn't very big. So it was a case of doing a lot of cropping, editing. I don't even think AI was around in 2015, not
no.
like it is now. So that was a nightmare. And I was effing and blinding with that as well. I couldn't get that right. And
The amount of F's and Jeffs that came out of your mouth trying to design that logo, and then you kept saying, can't fucking do it. Drive me nuts. And I was like, just keep going, just keep trying. You've got to have that I'm the person behind that says, you can do it, just keep going, give it a go. Um, so I'm more of the support system side, giving him that bit of a kick up the ass to carry on going when he feels like, everybody has the good days and bad days, and some days he's like, I'm having it today. I just, I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know if I should keep doing it. And I'm like, no, keep doing it. It's what you love, carry on doing it. Like, if that's what you love to do, then you've got to put the effort in. And yeah, it is hard. It's hard when you do anything day to day. It can be hard. Everybody has hard days, good days, but those hard days you've got to power through, and then the good days come after. So yeah, I'm always the one that's giving the kick up the ass to carry on.
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like when Jurgen Klopp left. I felt lost because it was such good years, wasn't it? We had 9 years of. I mean, the first couple of years weren't great, but then we started winning trophies. And then when Jurgen Klopp left, I thought to myself, "What am I going to do now?" I thought I'll rebrand the Facebook, the Instagram, the X, all that sort of stuff. But what do I do? So then we sat and thought about it again, went back and forth um, over different names. And then I thought, because I just started watching Dunk at Cup Talk by then,
Yeah,
and I went on Dunk's chat, with Adam and Shauno and all the rest of the crew, and we came up with the idea of Cop Heights of Anfield. So then I did the original um, logo, which was all right, a bit cartoony to be honest. And then I spoke to Adam, who's very very good with media and technology and stuff. And I said, "What do you reckon for an intro video?" So we created the intro video. So I actually put the intro video last night on Tony's Brighton review.
yeah,
That's why you'll see it. If you look very, very carefully, you only get a split second. Right at the end of that intro video, you'll see the original um, Klopp's Cop logo.
yeah.
And so I thought I'll bring it. I wanted to bring it back, but in the past, people have said to me, "Oh, you don't need intros. Just hit record and get on with it." But me personally, I love the intro. And I was a bit gutted when I got rid of it. So it will be making the odd appearance. It won't be all the time. I have actually cut it down a little bit. It was about 15 to 20 seconds, but now it's probably about 10 now. But yeah, so when we decided to do the Cop Heights of Anfield, rebranded from Klopp's Cop, Dunk at Cop Talk said quite a few times, why don't you do YouTube? No, I said no chance.
I remember
I
that.
said, I've got a face for radio, Dunk. There's no way I can go on camera. I'll be shaking like a shitting dog.
The amount of conversations we had about that, and you were like, I really don't think I can do it. And I'm like, look, at the end of the day, if this is what you enjoy doing, then give it a go. That's all you can do. I mean, I hate being on camera. I hate listening to myself back. But if this is what you enjoy doing, then just do it. Like, who cares what other people think? You're doing it for yourself, not for anybody else.
No, exactly. I mean, and the good thing about YouTube at the minute is the hide button. I think that is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
I think every single social media should take that on board. There's that much hate and racial slurs, racism, everything now online. That hide button's a genius.
People are just downright rude nowadays. Like, you go back to the 90s and you wouldn't even dream of speaking to people how people do now. How people get off on it being keyboard warriors, I don't know.
No.
But
I,
yeah, the hide button's fantastic. Really is.
yeah, I mean anybody can get blocked, can't they? That's great as well. But the
Mm,
only thing is with YouTube is if you hide somebody from the channel, they'll just make another account and come back. I've had
yeah.
it for years. Well, I think this is my second year on YouTube now. Um, but looking back, I dare look back at some of my old videos. It's so cringe.
It's so cringe. Um, yeah. I mean, it is nerve-wracking, isn't it, when you sat there and it's just you and a camera and you're thinking, right, what do I talk about? You know, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to talk for long enough. And I said to you, it doesn't matter how long you do it for, just do something, just take it step at a time. So do a little bit at a time, even if it's a 5 minute video to start with, 3 minutes, it doesn't matter. It's building up your confidence and getting to how you want to be able to do videos. And now you're doing videos with other people.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, YouTube advise you to only do 3 minute videos.
Yeah.
Um, where I'd be struggling to do 3 minutes. I'd start talking about a subject and then I'd get tongue tied and start forgetting what I'm saying. And the amount of times I've had to do retakes of videos before I've uploaded them is unbelievable. You know, my daughter's room is just next door to mine, and her bed's more or less right against the wall. And she always says, "Did you get a few videos wrong, Dad, today?"
Yeah.
And I'd say, "Why?" She said, "Oh, I could hear you swearing." I'd say, "Why? What am I saying?" She says, "Oh, for fuck's sake, what are you doing? You fucking bastard."
That's literally your favourite phrase when something goes wrong. And it is true. You can hear it. Like, I can hear him downstairs over the TV, and I'm thinking, oh, Jesus Christ, what's he going to say to me now? So, yeah, again, when he first started, I'd completely just stay out of his way. Not because he was angry, but just to let him like be in his own space and think, right, what did I do wrong and what can I change next time I do it? And I think sometimes when you do that, you've got to learn yourself. Like, obviously, we spoke about things and you asked for advice on videos. What do you think? What do you think? Thumbnails, things like that. But that's not my forte. But, I'll always give my input. And then whether he takes it on board or not is up to him, I suppose.
Well, that's quite true actually, because I remember when I first started doing videos, I used to say to her, "Will you watch this video? Do not um, pull any punches. Just tell me exactly what you think." Jesus Christ, the amount of arguments we had over that. Because she'd say to me, "You're shouting, you're swearing, you're too loud, you're this, you're that." I'm like, "What the fuck are you on about?" So then we'd start arguing over little bits and pieces, and it does take a lot of strain on your family. I mean, I've said it quite a few times on this channel, but Jen doesn't get enough credit. I mean, she's brought the kids up basically by herself. I used to work nights, days. I used to be all over the place. Used to be a hotel manager, so I never seen her. And then when I started doing this, it's the same. I'm always editing. I'm always making videos. I'm always doing research. I spend most of the time up here in the bedroom. You know, it's
The bedroom's basically your living quarters. It got to the point where I actually put the coffee machine in the bedroom so he didn't even have to come downstairs. And then I was like, "The fuck are you doing? You don't see him as it is. Like, at least if he's coming down to make a coffee, at least you're going to see him for a few minutes." So that coffee machine sure went back in the kitchen. To be fair, every night, most nights, I mean, I work till 6 p.m. So we have tea pretty late, 7 o'clock. So every night I'll come upstairs, I'll bring him his tea and do his packed lunches for work. And then we literally see each other for an hour when I come to bed at night. Um, so yeah, it does take a strain on your family life, but I mean, it works for us. Like I say, there have been some heated words like, come on, you need to spend a bit more time with us. But I know that he loves what he does. So it's hard to say to him, right, you need to step away from it. Um, so I don't want to say to him like completely step away from it because like I say, he loves what he does. But on the other hand, like we still want to spend time with him as a family. And it's quite hard because our eldest daughter's grown up. She's got a full-time job. The second one's full-time college, the youngest is full-time in high school, so it's very rare we've all got a day off together. So when we do have those days, you might not find him online because wifey is in his ear saying, "Right, you can get lost. You're not even doing that today. Like we're gonna go out and have a family day out." And then he knows if he's in trouble because I'll catch him on his phone and I'm like, told you we're having a family day. And he's like, just reading a message. And I'm like, no, like, just have a family day. He finds it hard to put the phone down and just take a day for himself because he wants to be constantly working.
Well, the thing is, I've got an overactive brain, you see. So I think I've told you this in the past. My brain never actually switches off. I could be lying in bed and I can just think of an idea and I think, right, I need to think of put this into plan. And I'll be making notes on my phone. I'll be looking into doing thumbnails, overlays. My brain just does not switch off. I'm lucky if I get 4 hours sleep every night. But
Mm.
what you could do, Jen, is you could maybe speak to the women out there um, whose fella does do YouTube or thinking of doing YouTube. What would your advice be to somebody who's doing YouTube, who has a young family, and the wives and things like that?
Um, I'd probably say for one, you've got to be the bigger supporter. Um, because that support system is probably the biggest thing that they can have. If they've got the support from you, your children, um, it can work. You've just got to figure out as and when. I mean, Gareth works full time as well. He leaves the house at 5:30 in the morning, maybe gets home at 1, 2 o'clock. It just depends. So he's got a couple of hours in the afternoon to try and do what he can. Um, Kids get in at 4, I get in at 6. So he kind of fits it round everything and it works for us. You've just got to find what works for you as a family. Don't argue over it. Just sit down, have a grown up conversation and say, right, how often do you want to do it? I mean, you put videos out. At one point, you were putting sometimes 3, 4 videos out a day. And I said to you, look, you're doing too much. Like you're stretching yourself. It was up from 6 in the morning till 11, 12 o'clock at night editing. And I was like, right, enough's enough. I was like, maybe take a day where you can record a few videos and then you covered yourself for a few days because you've got to have that rest as well as working full time and doing this. It is a strain, but just push through. Give it a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months, and you'll find what works for you as a family. But definitely don't let them give up.
No, I mean that's the only problem with YouTube is I think being a Liverpool fan and having a YouTube channel, there's that many out there. You've got to try and think outside the box.
Yeah.
This is why I've created this new Tell Me Your LFC story series. I mean, as you all know, I love listening to stories. I have a right laugh with most of the people on it. Well, everybody so far has been brilliant. I've not had one bad interview yet. I've really enjoyed all of them. I love learning about their experiences, their meet and greets. Um, but there was days where I'd be doing 10 videos, and then having to do my research, edit it all. It's not the case of just pressing record and uploading. I mean, it can be if you want it to be, but yeah, for me, like I say, there's too many people out there that are doing the same thing. That's why I like to do my overlays and just try new things. Like people have said to me in the past, you don't need overlays, you don't need this, that, and the other, all the fancy stuff. It distracts people from the video. I beg to differ. You know what I mean? If they're interested in what you're saying, they're not going to be looking down and thinking, "Oh, look at the subscribe, like, comment, and share buttons. Aren't they fancy?" Do you know what I mean? That's bullshit, in my opinion.
And to be fair, you want it to be different as well, but everybody's individual, aren't they? Like everybody's got their own style. But for you, you enjoy doing that side of it as well. Like you enjoy the creative side, and that's part of your brain that you're never going to switch off. You like to be different. You like to stand out. And most people, if something looks good, it's enticing to people. If it looks good, you want to watch it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when I first started, I was like I said, I was doing 3-minute videos. I prefer to do the creating side of it, so I do like really nice thumbnails. I do nice overlays, but then my videos would be shite. I'd be stuttering like a little prick and that. But now my brain just like I said never stops. I mean, I've got my own website which I'm really proud of. I've got my podcast as well now, so my brain it doesn't stop. I can be lying in bed, eyes shut, ready to go to sleep, and my brain will go, "No, you fucking not go to bed yet. I've got another idea for you." And it just never stops.
Don't I know it? I'm trying to go to sleep. It's pitch black in the bedroom because I need darkness for sleep, like no light, no nothing. And the next thing out the corner of my eye, I seen this light, and I know fine well he's got his bloody phone in his hand again. And I look at the clock and I'm saying, "It's 11:30. You're up in like 5 hours for work. You need to get some sleep." No, I just need to write this down, write this down. Yeah, all right then. I'll go to sleep. I'll wake up 1:30. He's still there. And I'm thinking, how the hell do you do your job on this amount of sleep? I mean, to drive, he drives all day, you know, and he's lifting and moving. And I'm thinking, I couldn't do that. I need a good 7 hours of sleep, at least.
Yeah, I mean, occasionally you do come with me to work, don't you, over weekend?
Oh, God.
And then, so we're up over weekend at 5:15, usually in work for about 5:15. And then by the time I get home, it's like 1 o'clock, half one, sometimes 2 o'clock. And I'll say, all right, I'm just going to go and see, check my emails and stuff. And then half an hour later, I'll come downstairs and she'll be flat out,
I just got home. I think I need a bloody nap.
you know.
Like, I mean, my job is hands on, but I mean, yours, it's the travelling for me. Travelling just makes me so tired, being a passenger. But then even when we're at work, he doesn't switch off. He's like, I've got this idea. What do you think about this? And I think, oh God. And sometimes I have not snapped, but I've said, please just stop. Like my brain can't take anymore. Like I have got space for your stuff in my brain, but I've got so much of my own as well. Like it just gets overloaded. It'll be like, what do you think of this player? Or do you think Liverpool will sign these in the summer? Or who do you think is going to be the next manager? And I'm like, I just turn around and say, listen, at this precise minute, I don't fucking care because I'm so talked out about the football. But I mean, it's very rare that I'll do that. But like we say, everybody has good days and bad days. A lot of the time, I'll just listen and go, yeah, yeah, it sounds all right. But then he knows when I've had enough because I just trail off and start looking out the windows and that. And he's like, yeah, she's had enough.
The thing is, though, I mean, this is the whole idea of this miniseries is um, to see what it's like from the woman's side. Because again, this is different. I've never ever seen any other channel that has the wife on talking about what they've had to deal with. I mean, my brain can only take so much in, and I think, well, if I offload it to Jen, maybe my brain will give me a fucking 5 minutes peace. But no,
And the thing is, your mum always says to me that I've got a brain like a sponge. So you give me information and I remember, like, I can remember from pretty much the first day we met most things that have happened around Liverpool. Liverpool's been involved in our life, things like that. And I'll say to him, can you remember when this happened? And he goes, not really, no. You're talking 20 years ago. And he's like, I can't remember yesterday. I've slept since then. That's one of his phrases that he comes out with if I tell him something that's important, and then I tell him 2 weeks later, he's like, "I can't remember, I slept since then." And I'll be like, "I bloody told you 2 weeks ago," and he's like, "Nah, can't remember."
yeah, she tells me about things that she's going to do, like she does like spiritual stuff for my sister, and she goes like occasionally goes out with my daughter on shopping of a night time, or they'll go and do cinemas or whatever. And she'll say, "Oh yeah, I'm going out tonight." Like, yeah, yeah, I told you about 3 days ago. All right, yeah, yeah, all right, and no bother. But the thing is, my brain, it's either thinking about work, thinking about the channel, or it just my brain never stops, so I can't always remember everything. But talking about first getting together, what can you remember about the 2005 Champions League final?
Oh god. So we'd only actually been together a few months. We met in the February. So obviously Champions League final, middle to the end of May 2005. Obviously the fantastic Istanbul come back. Um, so I remember just being at home, he'd gone to his friend's house to watch the game, so they're having a few beers and that's
Yeah,
it.
because you stayed at my house with my mum, didn't you, that night?
I came over, yeah. So I while you were at the football, I think you'd gone to Pratty's house actually.
No,
Um,
it was Benji's,
was
wasn't
it
it?
Benji's? So you'd gone to Benji's. There was quite a few of us there. And like I say, not I wasn't a massive football fan back then, but we had it on. We thought, right, Champions League final, we'll put it on. So my dad stuck it on the telly, and 3-0 down. I thought, oh god, he's going to be in a right bloody stinker of a mood at half time. And I remember you texting me saying, "What an absolute shower of shit you put." What an absolute shower of shit. And you literally put, I'm just going to get smashed. It's literally what you put. And I thought, oh, for fuck's sake, here we go. And then I just remember the final whistle going, bringing it back, and then my phone just absolutely blew up. He rang me, and he was like, "Oh my fucking god, we've done it!" Like that. There was people on my street. They were running over people's cars. Honestly, it was it. It was absolutely incredible scenes. Quite a few Liverpool fans lived around me, so they were running over people's cars in the front street. And then I get a phone call off him. Right, the game's finished. We fucking won. Come on, you can come and stay at mine. So I said to my dad, "Can you drop me off at Gareth's, please?" And he was like, "Yeah, yeah, of course, I'll drop you off." So I gets over there and gets there before he gets back from his mates, by the way. So I'm just sat in the living room with his mum. I'd only met her 2 or 3 times before. So I'm sat in the living room with his mum, and then we heard him coming down the street, "Champions!" like that, all the way down the street. I thought, "Oh my god, he's absolutely trolleyed." And yeah, it's some incredible scenes from that night. I think you come in, you were shouting, ranting, raving, you were absolutely buzzing that they'd won, and your mum said to you, "Get to bed, you're pissed. Get to bed, you're pissed." So you went to bed, and I think you must have been asleep within about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I just laid there watching a DVD that we robbed out of your sister's room, 13 going on 30. I'm just there, you're snoring your head off. But do you know what? It was absolute incredible scenes. Like I've never ever seen a comeback like that in my life.
No, I don't think you'll get a better Champions League final than that ever in history now. I think that's definitely the benchmark, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, without a doubt.
So if we jump forward a little bit to 2008, not 2008, sorry,
6?
2006, yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to look at the notes that we've made because like I say, we're going to put it in a different episode, so I don't want to go into, mix it all up. I'm trying my hardest. My brain's not letting me do it, but I am trying.
He's trying, he's trying.
And so yeah, 2006 was when our first daughter was born.
Yep.
So do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Um so yeah, so August 2006 our first daughter was born. So she's coming up 20 this year. She's quite scary to be honest. Um but yeah, we obviously very happy that we found out at the 20-week scan we're having a little girl. So it was both of our parents. It was their first grandchild, so it was really special for everybody. I remember taking the scan picture in, and they were like, "Oh my god, we're gonna be grandparents!" They were absolutely buzzing. We were happy. But then as soon as we found out it was a girl, first thing he said, "Right, get in the car." Why? Where are we going? We go to Anfield. I said, "What do you mean we go to Anfield?" He said, "We're gonna go and get her first Liverpool kit." I said, "She's not even bloody born." And he was like, "No, she needs one. She needs one." So off we goes with me being about 26 weeks pregnant, walking around the Anfield store. And I was like, "She's a little girl, though, she doesn't need a football kit." And he said, "Any child of mine is having a Liverpool kit, boy or girl." He didn't care. He really didn't care. So we compromised because me being heavily pregnant, I was like, "And she is not having a football kit. She's a girl. It's not happening. It's my first child. It's a girl. Not happening." So we're walking through the Anfield store and we come across this little dress, and it was a little pink dress, like dungaree dress, with a long sleeve vest underneath, and it said, "I love LFC." And you know what? I was like, "Can we get that?" And he was like, "Well, I wanted it to have a kit." And I was like, "Listen," dead emotional, straight to the point. And I was like, "Listen, we'll compromise. It's got Liverpool on it. She can have it." So that was her first Liverpool clothing, really. But obviously going back to 2006, the shop was big, but not as big as it is now. So there wasn't as much stuff out for babies, and I mean they didn't really have much stuff for women like they do now. Um, but yeah, I think that's when it kind of clicked with me. Like he is an absolute fanatic. Like who seriously thinks that as soon as they find out they're having a girl, they're going to go down drive all that way down to the store. I'm talking 2.5 hours from where we live then, just to buy an outfit for your daughter that wasn't even born yet.
Yeah, well, the best of it was we literally didn't do anything else. We went to Anfield, we bought the little dress, and we just come straight.
Didn't even take me out for lunch or anything. He just, come on, gets that straight back home. Terrible. Absolute terrible.
So yeah, this is basically just episode one. We're not going to make them long-winded. We're just going to. This is basically just like an intro video, really. So we'll leave that one there for you, and then we'll be back probably next Sunday with episode two. We're going to spread them out. Gives us time to spend together. But we're really glad that you joined us for episode one. Keeping subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you've hit the notification bell. And remember, there's only 3 notifications that go out per day with YouTube. Is there anything you
Yeah.
want to say, Jem, before we end episode one?
Well, it's been a blast, hasn't it? And we're just getting started. So, I mean, people are going to have to tune in for the rest of the juicy gossip, aren't they?
They are, yeah. And just make sure that you leave comments, because the more comments you put for Jen saying how beautiful she is, how good she is on camera, she suits being on camera, we might get her to do more stuff. You never know.
I'll have to try and fit you in. I'm a busy lady. Very busy lady.
Try and fit me in the diary.
I'll try and fit you in the diary. I'll try my best.
So, yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll be back soon. That's it for now. Take it easy.